Every day, you give away something incredibly valuable. You give it away when you search Google, when you watch YouTube, when you scroll Instagram, when you tap a location on a map, when you buy something online. And most of the time, you don't pay a cent, but someone else does. Because behind the free apps, free searches, and free entertainment is one of the most powerful businesses ever created. A business built around knowing what you want, where you go, what you watch, and what you're likely to buy. And here's the strange part. These companies usually don't need to sell your personal information directly. They can make money simply by using what they know about you to make advertising more valuable. Google generated $294.7 billion from advertising in 2025, representing more than 70% of Alphabet's total revenue. Meta's advertising revenue also increased by about $35.5 billion in 2025, driven partly by improvements in ad targeting and measurement, SEC. So the question isn't really, are companies selling my data? The bigger question is, how much money can they make because they understand me? And once you understand that, you start seeing the internet very differently. Level 1. The product you don't realize you're buying. Imagine you walk into a supermarket. You pick up a bottle of water, you pay $2. Simple. Now imagine another store gives you the water for free. But while you're walking around, it records which shelves you visit, what products you look at, how long you stare at them, what you eventually buy. Then it tells a company, people like this customer are very likely to buy your product. Suddenly, the free water makes sense. The store isn't really making money from the water. It's making money from the attention and information surrounding the customer. This is the basic logic behind much of the modern internet. Google doesn't primarily make money because you search. Meta doesn't primarily make money because you scroll. They build enormous digital environments that attract billions of people. Then they sell businesses something extremely valuable, access to potential customers. But there's a problem. An advertiser doesn't simply want to reach 10 million people. They want to reach the right 10 million. A sportswear company doesn't want to advertise running shoes to someone who has never exercised. A luxury car company doesn't want to waste an advertisement on someone who has no interest in cars. And a wedding photographer doesn't want to pay to reach teenagers who aren't planning a wedding. The better a platform understands its audience, the more efficiently it can connect advertisers with customers. And that efficiency is where the money begins. Level 2. Your data becomes an advertising machine. Think about what happens when you search. Best running shoes. That search tells a platform something, but now imagine you also watch 10 videos about marathon training. You follow several running accounts. You visit a sports retailer, you compare different shoe brands, and you later search Nike running shoes size 10. Each individual action might seem meaningless. Together, they form a pattern, and patterns are extremely valuable because advertising becomes more powerful when a company can predict what you're interested in. Google itself explains that its advertising business uses performance and brand advertising across search, YouTube, and its wider advertising network. Its 2025 filing says advertisers can use its systems to reach specific audiences and measure advertising performance. SEC. This creates a powerful economic loop. More users create more activity. More activity creates more signals. More signals can improve advertising relevance. Better advertising performance attracts advertisers. More advertisers create more revenue, and that revenue funds better products and infrastructure, which attracts even more users. The data isn't necessarily valuable because someone can look at your name and read your life story. It's valuable because millions of tiny signals can help a machine answer one question: what is this person likely to do next? And prediction is money. Level 3, the billion-dollar attention auction. Here's where the system gets even more interesting. Imagine you open a social media app. You scroll, you see a video, then another, and eventually an advertisement appears. You might think the company simply inserted an advertisement into your feed, but underneath that moment is a massive economic machine. Advertisers are competing for your attention. The platform has information about the audience. Advertisers specify the kind of people they want to reach. Algorithms determine which ads are likely to perform well, and the system constantly measures what happens next. Did someone click? Did they watch? Did they visit a website? Did they buy something? The better the system becomes at connecting advertisements with outcomes, the more valuable the advertising inventory can become. Meta's 2025 annual report shows this clearly. Its advertising revenue increased 22% in 2025. The company said ad impressions increased 12%, while average price per ad increased 9%, with improvements in ad performance from targeting and measurement tools contributing to advertiser demand. SEC. That is the hidden business model. The platform isn't simply selling advertisements, it's selling measurable attention, and the more precisely that attention can be targeted, the more advertisers may be willing to pay. This is why your behavior matters. Not because every action is individually worth money, but because billions of actions can collectively make an advertising system more accurate. And accuracy creates economic value. Level 4. The real asset isn't your data. This is where the story gets misunderstood. People often say, "Your data is the new oil." It's a catchy phrase, but it's not completely accurate. Oil becomes valuable when you extract it, refine it, transport it, and sell it. Raw data works differently. A giant database filled with random information isn't automatically valuable. The real asset is the infrastructure that turns information into predictions and decisions. Think about it. A company might know that you watched a video. That's useful, but knowing that you watched it isn't necessarily worth much. Now imagine a system that can analyze billions of interactions and determine people who behave like this are more likely to buy this product. That's much more valuable. Now imagine it can do that in milliseconds, across billions of users, across thousands of advertisers, every day. That's a different kind of economic machine, and artificial intelligence is pushing this even further. The future isn't simply about collecting more information. It's about extracting more useful predictions from the information companies already have. That changes the competitive landscape, because the company with better algorithms, better infrastructure, better measurement, and more user activity can potentially build a stronger advertising engine. This creates something economists understand very well: scale. A small platform might have data. A giant platform can have data, users, advertisers, algorithms, infrastructure, and billions of interactions happening simultaneously. Each part strengthens the others, and that creates a moat. Level 5. The data economy has a hidden weakness, but there is a catch. The entire machine depends on something fragile: trust, because people don't want every part of their digital lives exposed. And governments increasingly recognize that personal data can create serious privacy risks. That's why regulation, browser restrictions, operating system changes, and privacy tools can have enormous financial consequences. For example, changes to Apple's advertising identifier system made it harder for apps to access certain user-level tracking information without permission. Companies that depend on targeted advertising have warned that restrictions on advertising data can reduce targeting and measurement effectiveness. SEC. And this creates an interesting paradox. Consumers want privacy. Advertisers want measurement. Platforms want monetization. Governments want regulation. And technology companies want enough information to build useful products and profitable advertising systems. Everyone wants something different. That's why the future of the data economy won't simply be collect everything. It will increasingly be about what can you legally collect, what can you predict, and what are users willing to allow. And that creates an enormous business opportunity. Companies that can build powerful advertising systems without relying on unrestricted personal tracking may gain an advantage. Companies that lose user trust may face the opposite, because data can create wealth, but losing trust can destroy it. Conclusion: the most valuable thing you give away. So, are companies getting rich from your data? In a way, yes. But the deeper story is more interesting. They are getting rich from the economic value created by your behavior, your searches, your clicks, your watches, your purchases, your interests, your attention. Individually, these actions seem worthless. But multiplied across billions of people, they become an incredibly powerful economic resource. Google's 2025 numbers show just how large this machine has become. Nearly $295 billion in advertising revenue in a single year. SEC. And Meta's advertising business generated tens of billions more, with targeting and measurement playing an important role in the value advertisers receive. SEC. But here's the lesson. The next time an app is free, don't immediately assume the product is free. Ask a different question. What economic value is being created while I'm using it? Because in the digital economy, money doesn't always change hands when you click buy. Sometimes, the money is being made somewhere else by predicting what you'll do next. And that may be the most valuable business model of the internet. You don't have to sell the customer something. You just have to understand the customer better than anyone else. That is how data becomes wealth. And that is why, in the modern economy, your attention may be one of the most valuable assets you never knew you owned. Disclaimer. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial, investment, legal, or privacy advice. Statistics and business descriptions are based on publicly available company filings and other sources and may change over time. Always conduct your own research before making financial decisions.